Hello, greetings everybody out there in YouTube land. It's your buddy Choppadong. I am the content editor and a senior contributor and coach here at DFSArmy.com. And today we're going to go through the quickest way I have found to build a player pool for DFS MLB. But before we get to that, because things are going to change there, we got a couple things we need to talk about. I want to show you a little bit about DFSArmy.com because when NFL is around the corner and we talk about being a coaching site, what exactly do we mean? I mean, yes, we mean the interaction with the coaching that's going to help you become a better player, but that's something that nobody else in the industry does. And if you quickly look at some results, which I will occasionally do, you see the testimonials in here with the winning lineups and people thanking the coaches for doing a good job providing data and providing pivots and helping them put their lineups together. Essentially, that is what the DFS Army does. We help people build better lineups, more competitive lineups that get you out of just playing the little $1 double ups and start building lineups that take better shots at bigger ROI type things. We don't have, tournament only lineups and cash only lineups. We don't build lineups for you. We help point you in the right direction to use our tools and our content to put your thoughts together, to put your own unique spin on things, and then build better lineups with that knowledge. That's essentially what we do through all of our coaches. And we use tools like the Domination Station to do it. We use the Research Station to do it. And if you want to poke around on the website a little bit, you go to dfsarmy.com. The link will be in the comments section below. We have a draft kit here with a tutorial attached to it. We have NFL content hitting with podcasts, season-long positional breakdowns. We have a How to Crush series on YouTube that is showing you how to use these tools to obliterate the competition. But if you want to focus on baseball, you've got your Research Station, you've got your lineups page, you've got several tools in here that you can use. I'm focused right now, you've seen my process videos on the Research Station. I'm focused right now on hybrid scoring inside the Domination Station, the optimizer. Why? Because it becomes a little bit more one-stop shopping. It cuts my research time down. And the way that I do this is I just scroll down here and I can control what scoring system I want to use in that drop-down menu right there. I can go by straight projections. I can go by DFS Army grades, which are matchup ratings in our Research Station, or I can go by hybrid score, which blends the two. And I've followed both. Our projections are pretty darn good. Our DFSA grades are pretty darn good. So I like to blend the two because it gives me, I'm a big consensus guy. I would rather read 3 or 4 or 5 experts and then just sort of take the consensus of what these guys are saying as opposed to trust one guy, because one guy is obviously going to be a little up and down, whatever. The consensus should, in theory, be a little bit more stable, and I like consistency. I like consistency in the games that I play, and a hybrid score would allow that consistency by not being as volatile as the projections only, not being as volatile as the DFS Army grades only, but being a little bit more in the middle because it's taking elements from both scoring systems and blending them together. And you can only find that here. This is completely proprietary stuff. There's nobody else in the industry that has access to this and has blended it in the way with the weights and averages that we've done to make this work. So you can only get it at dfsarmy.com. And if you go down to the comments section, use coupon code CHOP, C-H-O-P, trigger a 20% off discount. And you're going to get in here very, very quickly and start building better MLB lineups, NASCAR lineups, PGA lineups, NFL when it comes around, because we're going to be incorporating this hybrid scoring system across most of our sports as we start our new cycle of sports with this NFL season. It's one of the bigger changes that we're incorporating to ensure that our experts and our contributors have the tools to constantly stay ahead of the evolutionary curve of daily fantasy sports. We all know daily fantasy sports is getting harder and harder and harder. Competition's getting smarter and smarter and smarter, and you have to get the information that keeps you ahead of the curve in order to do that. So with all that said, let me dive in and show you how I'm quickly assembling this player pool using the hybrid scoring system here at DFS Army. I've just gone through and I'm clicking position by position by position. And I'm using FanDuel scoring with the FanDuel projections. If you wanted to use the DraftKings projections, you just click that button over there and we're off and running. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to sort by hybrid score. I will even throw in a way to find value plays for you today because that's kind of a fun thing that I just figured out how to do as well. And it's, again, cutting my research time down. So when I look at the hybrid scoring system, blending the DFS Army points with the DFS Army grades, I'm going to see them sorted from top to bottom. And if I want to mark down my player pool, I would say start with the top 3 to 5 pitchers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So down to maybe Beria. And I'm going to look at a couple of things. I'm looking at the points. How big is the gap between these points? How far in the lead is this guy? Because it might be helping me determine how much I'm going to wind up liking the guy. I am not a fan of digging through deep numbers and things like that. I'd personally just like to get in and get out and get on with my day, because digging deeper and deeper and deeper to me leads to diminishing returns, where you're taking a look at way too fancy a number to really get much of an edge over a pretty volatile sport in baseball anyway. So I save that for the guys that love to do the digging. I just, like I said, keep it simple, get in, get out. Mark down the top 3 to 5 pitchers: Corbin, Paddock, Maeda. Look at their pricing: 10-5, 8-9, 6-4. Guess what? With those three guys, I have the bases covered, whether I want to stack Coors or I want to pay up for pitching and take a stable guy like a Corbin or whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever I decide to do, I can build a variety of lineups with just those three guys. Those three guys should theoretically be the best on the slate. I promise you. One of them is going to have a good day. One of them will probably disappoint us, and the other one will probably be about what he usually does. So, whatever. I can't control that. I can't predict the future. I go to the catcher, since it's combined on FanDuel, catcher and first base. I want to see Carson Kelly up here at the top with a 74 hybrid score, and then a 65 in Cisco down there in Baltimore, right? So if I look at the first baseman and I see the 75 is actually the second best first base slash catcher on the slate. So I would write down Jock Peterson, and then I would write down Carson Kelly, and then Walker, and maybe Votto. And then if I want a real value guy down here in Garrett Cooper, I probably got 5 names right there. 1 catcher, 4 first basemen. We're off and running. I go to second base. And see, I'm noticing there's a couple of 80s in the score now, so it's actually a little bit deeper position potentially than first base was, with Muncy and Marte up top. Scooter Gennett if you want a value play. Vargas if you want a punt. Now, with Vargas here in Arizona, if he gets the start at 2,000, becomes a value play with this kind of a matchup. He's supposed to score quite a few points today. Maybe you want to tone that down yourself and make it, say, 8.5 points. And all of a sudden his number drops, and now Albies pops in with the hybrid score. So there's different ways to kind of do this, guide this, and control this yourself. If you like players, want to put your own personal touch on it, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. Third base: Machado, Rendon, Suarez, Escobar, maybe Justin Turner, right? All in the 70s and 80s for scores, pretty good. Now I look at shortstop. I see VR up top. Believe it or not, we're not seeing a lot of Coors guys. Why? Because in a lot of cases, the Coors guys might be a little bit overpriced for the matchup that they're in, and they might score a lot of runs tonight, but they might not. And so is Coors an absolutely necessary slate today? What I'm seeing in these numbers is telling me probably not. Doesn't mean that it's not a good method to use, because we do use that method, but it's not maybe vital tonight, depending on what you want to do and how you want to build your lineups. Story, Seager, Turner are sitting in there, and then we'll go a little deeper with the outfielders, because outfielders have 3 positions, 3 players per position as opposed to just 1 shortstop. So Trout, Ohtani, you're going to see the LA guys pop here. Bellinger, of course, and Coors, and now you're going to see some of the San Diego guys, which gets me to the point I wanted to bring up here in a minute. Renfroe, Upton, Puig, Blackman, Reyes, Acuna, Merrifield, Cole Calhoun, Verdugo down here if you want a value play. On FanDuel, Verdugo in the outfield's not in a bad spot. Now, why are the San Diego guys popping? Well, they're matching up against John Means. The problem is John Means is on the injured list. He will not make the start today. Baltimore has not given us really an alternative yet, so we can't adjust our numbers. But as of right now, the Baltimore guys or the San Diego guys are popping because they're looking at Baltimore pitcher, which isn't going to happen. So these numbers are going to change tonight, later this afternoon. They might change dramatically. So you're going to have to keep that in the back of your head if you start poking around and building lineups today or on your lunch break or whatever. You're going to want to do that with a grain of salt, realizing that, like NBA, your whole plans could be just completely obliterated by the afternoon when the lineups get announced or the pitcher gets announced, and that changes things to all of a sudden San Diego's not as good of a target as they might have been, or whatever shifts and changes when lineups come out. They do change things around. So you always got to bear that in mind too. Now, let me throw in, since you've got the player pool, let me throw in the value guys. So we go back and we go to all, because it's always important, especially if you're going to use a Corbin, it's always important to have a few value guys in your pocket. What would you consider a value guy on FanDuel? For me, under $3,000, but I would rather have a little bit of room to play. So I cut down to the $2,000 guys or the $3,200 guys in the salary range. I moved that slider all the way over to 3,200. And now I'm only showing the top ranked hybrid score guys with salaries under 3,200. I've just turned this into our research station by using a filter. I've got the great hybrid scoring. I've even got DFSA grades and projections if I want to look at those, but I've got the hybrid scoring right here. And I've sorted high to low. And under $3,200 will bring me Renfroe, Puig, Reyes, Carson Kelly, VR, Verdugo, Cooper, Castellanos, Soto. Soto at 3,200 is intriguing. Soler, 3,100 is intriguing. So I'm looking at these guys here as my value plays. I see a bunch of outfielders. I see a shortstop, catcher, first base. So outfield's where I'm likely taking my value today, which might mean a lot of other people are going to do the same, which might make it harder to get up to a Cody Bellinger. So you might be a little bit less owned later this afternoon than typical for a core slate, or people might just start there first. But DFS is about finding value. If that costs you a Bellinger, it costs you a Bellinger. In a tournament or a cash game situation where you're trying to get more bang for your salary cap dollar, it might make sense to forego Bellinger tonight. Let everybody else go out there, and if they get lucky, they get lucky. But if they don't, they probably overpaid for him, and you are at a distinct advantage basically by buying all of these other players on sale today and getting more bang for your DFS dollar. If this is the type of stuff that interests you, you want more information, you want to talk more with coaches and experts that are continually helping other players get better, that are helping players win, in some cases, I don't know, $20,000 to $100,000 in tournaments. We had two $20,000 winners last weekend. Actually, had one in PGA and one in MLB. It was sleep one eye open, and then another guy with all initials like VKB 0377 or something like that won $20,000 each. If you want to join the crowd that has coaches helping them get better, you need to click the link in the bottom of the lineup, in the bottom of the comments here, dfsarmy.com. Use that coupon code CHOP, CHOP. Trigger that 20% off discount that stays with you the entirety of your membership. It's not just a first month discount. It is a permanent discount if you use that coupon code CHOP, C-H-O-P. Also, since you're down there, like and subscribe to the videos on the YouTube channel and hopefully ring the notification bell so new videos drop to your phone. And if you leave me a comment, I'll probably answer you back. Let's have fun, guys. Let's go win some money today, and let's go get inside DFSArmy.com and start winning in every sport that we like to play. Have a good day. We'll talk to you soon.